What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Simba Sports Hub, man. And hey, let's go ahead and get it, man. Turn up, turn up, turn up. Round of applause to our Washington Commanders, man, who came out with an overtime victory against the Atlanta Falcons, man. We beat them boys 30-24. I think that was my prediction. I think it was going to be like 31 or something, like 34-20, something like that. But I was in the ballpark. I wasn't 100% correct, but we put up 30 points, man, in the overtime victory. I do not think that game should have went into OT, but it did. Um, a lot of it was us shooting ourselves in the foot, man. Costly penalties that we had. But before we get into all that, man, make sure y'all smash that subscribe button. Man, subscribe to the channel, man. I'm still trying to grow my channel, my subscribers, man. We are currently, I think, at 58, but we need that good old 500 to get partnered up with YouTube, man. And the only way that I know I can do it is continue to promote myself, continue to give y'all consistent content, to try to grow the channel. But also, man, make sure y'all smash that like button, man. Run this video up. And also drop a comment, man. Tell me about last night's victory. Did y'all stay up for the whole game? Did y'all go to sleep? How could you go to sleep when the game going into overtime, man? Two rookies battling, Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels, our guy, who I think pretty much sealed up this Rookie of the Year vote. Y'all go ahead and give him the trophy. Go ahead and send it over to Ashburn, man. Let my man go ahead and take his pictures with it, do his little commercials and all that. Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels, stamp it. Shout out to the runner-up Bo Nix. Shout out to Brock Bowers, who also broke a rookie record. Yes, I think this past weekend. And most receiving yards from a tight end for a rookie. Made a shout out to him, but I got JD5 also broke a record. Our former quarterback, shout out to RG3, man. Appreciate you for giving the kind words and not being one of them old bitter haters that's out there when they record get broken. But yeah, Jaden Daniels, man, broke the rushing record for NFL rookies, man. And now I think he sits at about 820 or 830. But as y'all can see, it took him 16 carries, 127 yards to get this victory yesterday. But we're going to talk about it. So I might as well go ahead and get started, right? Let's go ahead and get started with the offense, man. But before we get started, let me just give y'all a spiel. Your boy was at the game yesterday. Under the lights, and I must say, man, the stadium upgrades with the lights and the light shows that they did, bruh, honoring Brian Orakpo. I saw Josh Morgan out there, man. Shout out to Josh Morgan, man. Josh Morgan actually coached my father in high school at Bishop Curl, my bad, at Curl High School in D.C., Washington, D.C. If you don't know, now you know. So major shout out, man. I got to talk to him while my father was coaching with him. Real cool dude, real down to earth. Actually, you know what I'm saying, is a real, he loved the game of football. I think he coached, I forgot, he got a head coaching job somewhere else in DC though. But man, shout out to him, shout out to Brian Orakpo. But the atmosphere in the game, man, even though it was started off with a little bit of rain, your boy was out there. I was out there suited and booted. I ain't have on a whole bunch of rain gear, but it wasn't that bad. The rain didn't like really stop the game. It was raining right before the game, and it kind of cleared up, but it was a clear game most of the all 4 quarters. Like it was clear skies. So that kind of made it better. But the light show, man, the light show that Washington Commanders Northwest Stadium has implemented is nothing but like, goddamn, like you can only just just give them a round of applause, man, for implementing the new light show, especially after touchdowns. After halftime, like they had a whole little light show and like the introduction of the team, like that shit was immaculate. I appreciate it, man. That was a W moment there. You could just tell that's gonna roll over into the new stadium. Hopefully, it's at RFK where we can take back our stomping grounds, man, and bring back some Super Bowls. Hey, we might get one here, and we might be able to bring one back to Northwest before we make the decision. But anywho, the game, man, it wasn't that chilly. It didn't get chilly until like the 4th quarter. I ain't gonna lie. Your boy was on that joke like this. Let's hurry up and get this game over with. So the overtime and all that. Hey, man, the atmosphere was just like, you could just tell, man. The people in my section, man, we was turned up. We was live, man. We was cussing out the refs because some of those calls. I'm just gonna be here to say that calls like from being in the stadium watching the game versus watching calls on the TV where they give you multiple like views and all that, replays and all that throughout the game or right after the play has been, called. I can't say like some of the stuff I thought wasn't calls was probably was. And let's just go ahead and call it out, man. The I don't like the pass interference in the back of the end zone on job that they called on what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank right now? I can't. Drake London. My bad. I just had a real bad blank. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. I was about to call him something else, and I'm bad with names. But anywho, that call on Drake London, man, the dude was already out of bounds. I don't understand. He didn't push him out of bounds. He was already out of bounds. I don't understand how you call that. The Sam Cosmi holding. He did pull. I like looking at some of the different angles on Twitter and like highlights on YouTube. Like it did look like he pulled him down, and you can't do that as an offensive lineman. So I can understand that one being called back. That was the game sealing TD that JD threw. But to Zacchaeus, I believe he does record it. But I'll take that. And then the one I think that was Michael Davis, man, who seemed to inherit some of the good old 25 traits while being out there, man. Just getting flags at the end of the game. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. As an overall take from our cornerbacks, I don't think none of our cornerbacks can come out of that game saying we played our best game. Giving up some key fourth downs, man. Just allowing the comebacks, and I get it. You don't want to get beat over top, so you'll give up everything underneath, bend but don't break. But we broke. We had multiple possessions where we allowed them to extend the drive. The Mike Sanders still, encroachment on the field goal where that allowed that turned into 7 points. But it's just like costly penalties, man, just hurt us. This whole game, it shouldn't have went into overtime. We should have ended that game in regulation, if you ask me. But hey, we shot ourselves in the foot with some penalties. I think the refs called some bull jive on some of the other penalties. But hey, guess what? It worked out in our favor. We was able to go into overtime and not give them a chance. We went down the field with JD 5 and JD and 5 we trust, man. I'm just going, and 5 we trust and all things. Like we're gonna give my man a chance, give him a chance. I like our chances with 5 at quarterback. He drove us down the field and we came away with the victory. With a clutch touchdown by Zach Ertz. I got it on. Hey, that play was right in my end zone. So I was sitting in the corner of the end zone on the opposite side of where they come out the tunnel at. So I was able to get a nice little video of that game winning TD. You know what I'm saying? It scared me for a while because I didn't know if he really caught the ball. So I had to wait. So if you hear that, if you go to my Twitter page, I posted it on there. And I posted on all of my other social medias too. I ain't gonna lie. If you hear me, it's like I don't react until I actually see that they actually keep it a touchdown. But without that being said, man, let's get into the offense, man. And we got to start off with our rookie of the year. Let me just go ahead and start saying that our rookie of the year, man, helped us, willed us to win number 11. Like again, I got that right there. I got that right there for y'all to see. That win number 11, man. And I'm just gonna say this, man. Getting 11 wins after going 4-13, man, as a team. Hey, we have already reached a successful turnaround from being a god-awful team for the past couple of years. Getting 11 wins, I mean, I know a lot of people going into the season, our fans included, did not see us getting 11 wins. And that's nothing but respect. And that's all honestly, like, I didn't even see us getting 11 wins. I think when I did my prediction, I gave us a window of 8 to 11, but I was a little far fetched of us getting 11 wins. But we actually pulled out 11, man. And hey, we'll talk about potentially getting number 12, man. But let's go ahead and get number 12 in the regular season. 12-5 will be immaculate, man. That'll be more than a recalibrated year. And I'll say this, like looking at some of these other rookies and the talent that they got around them, you can still tell that we are still recalibrating. We still got pieces that we need to, implement into our team to allow our offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators to call the game how they like truly want to. You can see, I mean, even Joe Witt said it, I think back early in the beginning of the season or midway through the season, is that they had to take a lot of stuff out of the playbook because it just seemed like guys wasn't getting it. And that's a concern, but you can just tell that with the coaching, it's like he dumbed down the defense and made calls more simpler, and just to fit the personnel that we got on the field for the 11 guys. But we're going to start with Jaden Daniels, man. 24 for 36, 227 yards, average 6 yards a throw, 3 TDs, and a costly interception that he admitted that he cannot make those type of interceptions late, especially in the red zone, man. That was a potential getting 3 or potential scoring drive. Like, we could end that with 6. But he ended up throwing a pick, man. He was sacked 5 times. Shout out to the Atlanta Falcons defense. Again, I didn't know how to grade them. I didn't know what to think of them because, again, I didn't watch a lot of Atlanta Falcons defense throughout the year. I seen them against Tampa Bay, and they had a pretty good defense. It just I could not speak to it during the preview. But after seeing them on the field, hey, much respect. They did what they had to do. Also, Jaden Daniels had 16 carries again for 127 yards, breaking RG3's rushing record as a rookie. So major shout out to my man JD, man, for a record breaking, night. You know what I'm saying? I think he now, I think he's almost close. I think he's at 800. Not almost. I think he probably finished the season with 900 if he played next week. But major shout out to him, man. He just seems like he never gets overwhelmed or he gets too high or gets too low, man. He seemed like a true even keel player, kid that don't let the moment you know what I'm saying get to him, and he's able to stay locked in. And because if you look at that overtime drive, hey man, throw out the throw, it was just like, hey, fire, snap, get the ball out of his hands, snap, get the ball out of his hands. And he was just finding dotting Atlanta up all the way down the field, man, and then had 2 key runs that got us to about the 2-yard line. And you kind of see my man gas out because that boy took a knee. They had to call a timeout for my man so he can get his win. And then he came right back. And you just think that moment for a rookie is like, oh, shit. Like, hey, is he going to make the play or is he going to make a bad play? And he stood right there in the pocket. Man, my man Zach Ertz ran that angle route and came back in. And JD fired a bullet right before the linebacker could even react. And it was a touchdown, and he ended the game, man. So major shout out to Jaden Daniels. So now I'm going to get into a true concern going into the playoffs because, again, even though he had 16 carries, 127 yards, you don't want to see your quarterback running that much. Again, 10 to 11 to 12 runs, whether it be, mixture of design quarterback runs or just scrambles. You don't want to see him getting over 12 rushing carries. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't want to see that. But again, I'll take it. I'll take it. No diddy. Because I don't think without his 16 carries, 127 yards, we win this game. He extended so many drives with his feet, and all you can do is say, "Hey, man." So you gotta live with it. You gotta live with it. But you would as the season go, and I know we at the end of the season, week 17. In the books, we're looking at week 18. But as he continued to progress in his career, you want to see him kind of like stand tall and find that open receiver, or get I'm gonna shut up. Do what you got to do, JD5. I don't know why I'm sitting over here trying to overanalyze it. Do what you got to do. I take the 16 carries, 127. But only thing I would say from a running perspective, man, our run game from an offense perspective, and I'll talk about the defense in a little bit, but Brian Robinson, 13 carries, 60 yards ain't bad, but it's just like, man, like we expected more. 4.6 yards, he almost averaged. He averaged 5 yards a carry. I give him that, but it's just like you would rather see that 16 and 127 go to Brian Robinson than you would want to see it go to your quarterback, right? But that's the purpose of having a dual threat quarterback, is that he can give you some games where he can run for 100 yards, especially if the defense give those type of runs up, right? So I don't gotta take nothing. Pause. I just gotta live with the results, right? So I'll say this: our run game from a running back perspective has been pause highs and lows, inconsistent, and I don't know. I just want to see us run a little bit more stretch plays, a little bit more toss. And it looked like all we really have is an RPO, a dive, and a counter left and a counter right. That's all we got from a run perspective. Anthony Lynn, I was just talking to my man. I'm like, Anthony Lynn is our running back, and I think he's our run game coordinator. And those are the only 3 runs that he got. I don't know what he was doing with these other teams, like with the Chargers, where they was having successful running seasons. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. 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 Um, Zacchaeus, who actually had a big game. I know a lot of people were saying, man, we gotta get Terry involved, but it looked like, hey, AJ Terrell had that on locks. It happens some games. So what you gotta do is, and you saw it. It's like you seen Cliff kind of motion him and put him in different areas of the field, lining up in different areas, lining up in different spots to kind of just take coverages and roll coverages or take defenders his way and open up other guys. And that's kind of what it looked like as the game went on. Because even though he had what, one catch, but he had 7 targets, which is crazy. 7 targets and only one catch. That's wild. I didn't know it's that many targets he had. Because it didn't look like that many. Um, who else we had? Zach Ertz, who had a big game and a game-winning touchdown. He found the end zone twice, 6 catches, 72 yards, 2 TDs. Major shout out to Zach Ertz. Jamison Crowder, who also had a good, subpar game. But yeah, from an overall offensive perspective, man, I think we shot ourselves in the foot in many occasions with the false starts, the holdings. I don't think we had any legal formations, but just certain penalties, man, just killed us, man. It was just like momentum killers, and it's just like you can't have that going into the playoffs. I would like to see that being cleaned up as we go into Dallas next week, and hopefully we can limit, like, man, maybe 3 penalties. But I don't know if they even show the penalties out here, but if we see it, I'll bring it back up again. But I think we had too many moments where we shot ourselves in the foot, man. I'm just gonna be real honest with y'all. So let's get into our defense, man. Again, Michael Penix, man, another rookie. Washington. I watched this dude throughout the season. Um, in Washington, and like the dude can throw the ball. Yeah, he sailed on a lot of passes last night. I don't know if that's just, him still trying to build up that chemistry with his receivers. But 19 for 35, 223. He threw a touchdown and he threw a pick. One pick went to my man. I mean, the only pick went to my man Quan Martin early in the game. And again, it was just a pass by Michael Penix that he just sailed. And he missed on a lot of throws. Like, he had receivers open. I'm at the game. I'm seeing our cornerbacks trail a lot. And I'm like, damn, like, thank you. Thank you, MP. Thank you for the overthrow. Bijan Robinson just gets into our Russian defense, man. It's just, I don't know, man. 17 carries for 90 yards is not like, he ain't go off on us, but he had 90. He averaged 5 yards a carry, so the end zone twice. But that's also due to us like giving them second chances to extend their drives. Um, so I'll say 126 yards total. That's probably one of our best like run defensive games. But again, I don't like to see guys run over 100 yards total. That's just me. I as a predicated, like, we got to be able to stop the running. You're gonna have to stop the run in the playoffs. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Depending on where you playing at, games cold, they gonna utilize their running backs, and that's where our defense has been the weakest. Excuse me, has been the weakest that is in our run defense. So hopefully we can get that back together. Drake London, 7 catches, 106, and this gets me to good old Michael Davis, my boy. You got barbecue chicken, my guy. I'm not gonna say all those catches was on you. I think Mike Sanders still gave up about a 15-yard comeback, which I'm just sitting here like, God damn, y'all. We gonna play prevent defense, I guess. Especially when we took the lead, but that's how teams can quickly come back into a game. We was up 24-17, and we allowed them to drive straight down the field on us. Penalties, and then we just kept giving up the comeback. It's like, dang, it's like not one of y'all put a safety over top so the cornerback can play. But again, scared when you putting safeties in the box to try to stop the run. You gotta leave your cornerbacks out there to drive and say, hey, don't give up the big play. Keep everything in front of you. And yeah, that allowed my man to go and get 107, 106, 107 on us. It's all good. It's all good. Michael Davis, that wasn't your best game. I don't think no cornerback can come out of last night game and say, "Oh yeah, I did my thing." Nah. I don't think we played to the best of our ability from a cornerback perspective. Michael Davis, six tackles. Good lord. Quan Martin, 7 tackles or 6 total, 8 total. Um, But I think our defense turned up a little bit in the second half, man. We got turned. We got stops. We made them punt the ball a lot in the second half, but it was just the penalties, man, the costly penalties that kind of hurt us, man. As we went through the second half, going into the second half of the game. But hey, only thing, hey, Quan Martin quarter pick, so and that was 29 yards return. Zane Gonzalez went 1 for 1, 3 extra points. Yes, sir. I take that. I take that. I take that. No Diddy. But yeah, man. Hey, again, as I talk about this game, my voice is damn near gone. So that's why my voice is gone, and I got very little bit of sleep. But again, I had to come and share my excitement with the team. 11 wins, man. 11 wins is big for us. And again, it's just all momentum, man. This is all momentum going into the future of the Washington Commanders, or whatever the team name is potentially going to be. I don't care. Again, we can be the Washington football team as long as we got 11 wins like we do. That's all I can ask for, y'all. I don't. I want to be winners. I don't care about the name. The name don't define the team. At the end of the day, it's like if your team is whatever it is and you winning, the fans are going to gravitate towards that. That's it. It just is what it is. And I must say this, man. We protected home this season. We finished last night, like the last home game, we finished 7-2. So we only took 2 losses at home. And that's kind of like what you need. You got to protect home field at any given time. And right now, I think we currently sit at the 6th seed, going into the playoffs. I'm not looking too far ahead. Again, like I told you, I don't care who we play. I don't care who we line up against. It can be one of those 6 teams that we potentially play, and it could be the Eagles. I don't give a fuck. I don't give 2 fucks. I'm a competitor, bro. I don't care who we bump up against. I'm not looking for an easy pathway to anything, because again, you can't take no team for a joke. The Rams can easily run through the playoffs, right, and be in the Super Bowl. Some could say that about Tampa Bay. Some could say that about us. You know what I'm saying? We can be one of those teams, right? So you can't take none of these 7 teams that's in the playoffs lightly. And so I don't care who we play. And it is one and done. It's one and done. You just got to have the best game that day. And I will say this, from a run perspective, from our running backs and our run game, and actually when we do run the ball, I don't like that going into the playoffs. I don't. I just don't. I don't know if it's the personnel. I don't know if it's the play calling. I don't know if it's the play calling. I don't know if it's the players, O-line or running back. I don't know what it is, but it seems like we could not get any holes to open up for us in the run game. It opened up for JD, but from a running back perspective, it seemed like we could never have that big run. Where our guards open up the line of scrimmage and he taking it all to the second line of the defense. It just didn't look like we had that going for ourselves. So again, I want us to clear up our penalties, not continue to shoot us in the foot. Hopefully we can work on that. I did say going into next week, I don't know. I don't know if I want to see our starters, but I believe some of the vets do might deserve like a little break. But we also do need this game. So if we want to play them limited snaps only, if the game get out of hand, get them up out of there. But for last night, man, it was exciting to see the city. It was exciting to see the stadium as live as it was. It was not no away team taking over our stadium last night. We stood up. We protected home. We showed up for our team last night, and that's when you winning. You get your fans in the seats, and all I can do is and pray and hope that we continue to win, man. Win number 11. Thank you so much to the Commander players, to the coaches, to AP, to the owner. I appreciate y'all as a fan, man. Appreciate y'all for turning this thing around and getting us back to winning. And I'm excited about the playoffs. We clinched, baby. We clinched our playoff spot at 11-5. I haven't seen it when I understood football. I was born, but I ain't get to see it. I ain't really get to understand what 11 wins meant. But to see us get 11 wins, man, I'm more than excited. And let's go get number 12, man. I catch y'all on the next one. B.I., I'm out.